G'day and welcome to Aussievision. I'm Dale and this is the first video we've done for Aussievision for this upcoming season, and it's on a topic I didn't expect to discuss, but I thought it actually had quite a lot of relevance for Australia, and that is the news today about Canada wanting to potentially participate in a future Eurovision Song Contest. Now, this isn't a complete surprise, like there was meant to be Eurovision Canada a few years ago, announced in 2022 for 2023, and it didn't happen. You know, they've been sort of sniffing around and they've got a great fan base as well. And today there were some budget papers from the Canadian government which said that they will be exploring modernising CBC Radio Canada's mandate to strengthen independence and is working with them to explore participation in Eurovision. And this was in a huge sum of money. I think it was something like 150 million or something similar. Don't quote me on that. Now, this is quite big. Now, this has come from news after we've had a lot of countries return to Eurovision recently, in Bulgaria, Romania, and Moldova. And I think basically we've got a situation where it's Vienna again. It's another anniversary, 70 years. It was the 60th edition when Australia was invited in 2015. And some people are drawing parallels here. Now, there's a lot of parallels with Canada and Australia. We are kind of very similar, small populations compared to our size. They're ice, we're desert. We're pretty easygoing people. We get on with the Canadians, generally speaking. They've got a multicultural society. They've got connections to Europe, particularly the French side, of course. And they've had many artists in the contest in previous years, including when it's gone well for Celine Dion and then not so well for a few others as well. Now, does that mean they're the same as us in Eurovision? Well, there's also one more similarity where we have CBC, the broadcaster, is an associate member of the EBU, much like SBS or ABC are in Australia. But I think we start to run out of things there. The big difference with Canada and Australia is Australia was broadcasting the contest from 1983 onwards. By the time we actually competed, we'd been broadcasting Eurovision for over 30 years straight. We had sent commentators to the contest since 2009, so that was a number of years to go up there, and a massive investment because of that, a massive cult following here in Australia, and we've seen that by the amount of people going over and visiting and going to Eurovision since then. A little bit different for Canada. They've not had consistent broadcast. Now, CBC haven't been broadcasting it consistently at all. Actually, it's been other broadcasters who've been doing it in recent years. 2019 and 2021 wasn't a CBC broadcaster. There was Out TV, an LGBTQIA+ one who did it around in the mid-2010s, around 2014, 2015. And there was a one-off broadcast back in 1988, delayed. It's not quite the same as the level of broadcast of Australia and the commitment Australia showed to Eurovision before going in. Now, do I expect a country to be broadcasting for 30 years before they may get to go and part of Eurovision? No, but it's more about what Eurovision stands for and what it is. To me, you need to make that commitment. Eurovision is about history and connection, and that was very much proven by Australia as well. We'd been part of it. We were also introduced into the contest by little segments during the show, an interval act before we actually performed. So if we suddenly got an announcement of Canada out of nowhere and they were going to compete next year, I think it would diminish the contest and what it means to enter. I'm not pulling up the ladder for our wonderful Ice-Bogan friends, but I feel they need to put more into the contest before they actually go, hey, we're part of it. Great that CBC are exploring it. Send a commentary team. Broadcast the contest. See how you do that for a couple of years and you get momentum, and then you're ready to enter. And you've kind of earned your place if EBU and other people actually want them to compete. Australia's still facing the issues of doing that. Look, there's benefits, of course, the fact that they're going to have another nation they could rely on to have in there. But I don't know. I feel it opens a door if you do it in a very quick way. Who else enters then? The United States, which I will know will not be as popular as Canada. other nations to put their hand up to compete. It's a slippery slope. It's what people would have said about Australia. I know, I get it. And so it may be hypocritical here, but at the same time, I do think the precedent we set was very strong to try and match what we put into the contest, to actually enter the contest and be part of it. So I don't believe Canada at this point has earned that spot. I feel, let's commit, let's see where you're at, and what are you going to bring to the contest at that point that doesn't exist already. And if Europe want it, because ultimately it's not Australia's choice, I can just have a view. We are guests of this contest. If Europe wants it and the EBU wants it, sure, once you've earned your keep, go for it. So it's an interesting one. It's interesting about like other countries like Kazakhstan and other ones who've been promised Eurovision, like from South America as well. It's interesting Canada is officially exploring it, but I feel they would have a long way to go to get there. But who knows? I mean, they speak a French language, they speak a European language other than English, so maybe there's some other things they've got there. But look, that is my 2 cents on it. I'm sure other members of the Aussievision team may have different opinions. This is just mine. Other Australians may have different opinions. This is just mine. But love the enthusiasm. Canada, keep working at it and come back when you've maybe got something a bit more fully formed and a bit more fully committed to the contest. Catch you later.